I'm recording. What do you think I'm doing? Oh, you got a problem with it?
I got no problem now.
Okay.
No problem at all.
For some reason, it feels a little bit nasty today. Can't put my finger on it, but it ain't festive. These look like Syrian refugee camp tents. Some guy here. With a football. You know, juggling a ball about like this is one thing. Being an asshole to him is a different.
We're trying to do a short now.
I'm recording. What do you think I'm doing? Oh, you got a problem with it?
I got no problem now.
Okay.
No problem at all.
You won't believe what's happened today.
I've missed everything. What's been happening today?
You can't make this up. What I'm about to tell you now. I've been busted. I've done very well.
Didn't you go on the Interfaith March?
Oh, I was part of it. Trust me.
I
was
bet
part
you
of the
were.
Palestinian March.
I'm
Right
going to
fucking
get
next
you
to
in
it.
there.
Pardon me. You're not filming me, are you?
Yes.
Oh,
Do you want me to stop filming you?
no, you can film me. Anyway, these things happen to you when you work the streets. I just want to make that quite clear. I sing.
Hang on.
Yeah,
I've got a different definition of work
work
in the streets.
Yeah. I sing in the streets, and God was looking down on me today, and I mean God. So picture this, right? Because I like to tell funny stories. I'm always respectful. I never swear and I never threaten. Even on the Palestinian marches, I think, we have to be restrained. Helps the police, and it shows my reputation for being a decent person, though not perfect. So I'm singing at the top of Brigade. If you can imagine this, they're coming past and I'm singing Israel Will Survive by Gloria Gaynor. I will survive. Israel will survive by Gloria. Top blast, I'm getting some really, really iffy looks.
Is this while the march is going past?
They've literally stopped in front of me at the top of Brigade. Then I've got a policeman either side, and then I've got Serena Fenton. We know Serena Fenton, don't we?
And she's just received a racist conviction.
She's, double accused, a double convicted racist. I try to see the good in her. I'm sure she's got a good heart deep down inside. It's just she needs help. So she's in front of me, effing this, effing that, and effing the other, using the F word, not actually saying it. And getting to the point, eventually, a vicar, with the full vicar thing on, a proper vicar, came out of the march and gave me a £20 Christmas gift. I said, thank you, God. I said, bless you. And he smiled, and they went back in, and they went off. And then the policeman, Pat, said, all he wants is peace. And I said, well, that's all we want too. And I was very grateful for the gift. And that's the story.
Wow. Wow.
You can't make it up,
Part
can
of
you?
the interfaith. But you didn't go and join in. Were there any of your compatriots joining in the interfaith march?
Interfaith? Was that a separate march?
That was today. Today's
not
march.
the Palestinian march.
Yeah. Today's Palestinian march
But it
was
was only very
labelled.
small.
It's getting smaller and smaller and smaller, isn't it?
The interfaith march. Is that what they
Interfaith.
call it now? Interfaith.
Today's march, previously there was a silent march, and then on another march it was a children's march with the melons.
So that's
blah, blah.
interfaith.
Today was the interfaith march.
They've changed the marketing. Because
Yeah.
it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller, the amount of people there.
How many were there? I mean, what?
There
what
must have
was
been about 50 people.
it? Is that it?
Yeah. No, I tell a lie. I
About
tell a lie.
100 probably.
10, 20, 30, probably about 80 people.
Really?
Yeah.
It is getting smaller and smaller. I think
The thing
people
is,
are realizing that actually that some of the people that are involved are really not very nice, like Serena.
The thing is, right, the thing that's really, really sad is there's a couple of people there that used to talk to me all the time in town, a man and a woman. She's English, she's married to, I believe they're married, to an Egyptian guy. And before the march, we always used to have small talk, but friendly. Since this all started and they found out I was Jewish, he was always sort of balanced. He was sort of still relatively friendly, not so much today, but she's obviously influenced him. But she's become like, I don't know, like a very nasty, hateful character.
So because of
And I
your
don't know her
ethnicity,
personally, so because of what's going on, she's sort of looking at me as if I'm to blame, and I shouldn't be standing up for Israel.
so because of your ethnicity, because of your religion, because of your
Beliefs.
country and your beliefs, and because you want to protect your country,
Yes.
she hates you.
Yes.
So that's different. That is different from
I think. Sorry.
being pro-Palestinian in
It is
terms
totally
of
different, totally different.
in terms of what is actually happening.
I will give her the
over
benefit of the doubt. I don't think she hates me. I think she just hates. And I think a lot of them in the march just hate. I don't think they hate anything in particular. I think they're quite lost. I think they've forgot what it's actually all about. They've saved no lives. They've changed nothing. And the thing that really annoys me is that the media, if you know the media and bloggers and everybody, they can't wait to tell you how many civilians have been killed, but they never tell you how many terrorists have been killed. Now, Israel
and they don't differentiate. They don't differentiate. Everybody's a
so
civilian
it's
to them.
very difficult for some people, because I think the general public, let's be honest, even if there's 5 million marchers around the world, there's 8 billion people in the world.
Yeah.
So, it's hardly a majority, is it? It's like
Ukraine does the same. Ukraine does the same.
So the point is that they are programming each other not to acknowledge the full story. How could you possibly say that it's genocide, right, if you cost in the amount of terrorists that are killed? And let's be honest, if there's 40,000 dead, at least up to 20,000 terrorists, which in urban warfare proves absolutely without a shadow of a doubt in a year, Israel is not deliberately trying to kill civilians in Gaza or anywhere.
I don't know. I'm not going to get into the arguments about it.
I'll tell
in
you now,
terms of
they
whatever.
have intelligence, they know where to
yeah.
fire. But I'm not being funny, and it's horrible, and I hate the deaths on both sides.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is that if they know terrorists are in a place, and there's people there, they have to get rid of the terrorists. This is something that happens in every war, not just Israel, every war. They try and warn people the best they can, but they have to get rid of the terrorists.
There are difficulties
and it's
with the
collateral damage, and it is very heartbreaking.
There are difficulties with the argument. I know there are difficulties. Everybody will.
Do I think that
push
every shot that Israel takes is justifiable? That would be foolish of me to say that it was.
Exactly. It's like they're doing what they're doing, from
Now
what I
they've got
can
rid
tell,
of the weapons
to
in
save
Well, they've got rid
to
of the
save
weapons in Syria.
themselves in a lot of
Now,
ways.
I'm delighted when I see the people in Syria free. I'm absolutely over the moon. I am absolutely in tears when I see of joy, and I put my comments on. But Israel obviously can't afford to just have tears of joy, and it's nice for the people. They're obviously delighted that they're free, and this.
We'll
that's how
see
it's
where
going.
it goes.
But the thing is, they've had to, at the bare minimum, get rid of the weapons they've got rid of because they don't know how the people that have come in are going to react. That is just perfectly logical and normal.
It's the same arguments with Gaddafi and with Saddam Hussein. Yeah, they were assholes, as was Assad. But where's the country going to go now?
This is the problem.
And that's the point. It's like, okay, right.
This is very naive what I'm going to say now, and I'm certainly far from naive. But my fantasy is that they would actually, talk to Israel and make friends with Israel. They don't have to agree on everything. And so basically that would then enable the people in Syria to have a genuine future. Because I tell you now, if the people that have taken over behave themselves, they would get support from around the world, without doubt, including Israel, as long as the leaders were to behave themselves. I wish these people would stop fighting.
I know they're talking to Russia, and I know that they have they've reached out to Russia to keep them in the bases that Russia has, and to assure them there will be no attacks on any Russian military that is in Syria.
So the people are trying to take, are sort of in the process of taking over. They want the bases to stay there.
I think that's one of them. The other bit is they need Russia to prevent America going in.
But I also think they want to get Assad, from a political point of view at least, up in court.
I think that's just politics in itself. They'll be making noises about that, but it's irrelevant.
I mean, he has done some horrific things.
Absolutely. All leaders do.
But when I saw the people free in Syria and they were letting them out, honestly, I was delighted to put some lovely comments on and to say, but as everybody said, even the mainstream media have said, we don't know where it's going.
Exactly. And this is where the announcement from our government that, we're pausing the asylum status applications for people from Syria because of this change. It's like, hang on. We have no idea. Just imagine all the Syrians that have come here to the UK.
We'll throw the passports and details over the side.
No. Let's say they've come over because of the past 13 years worth of the problems.
Okay.
It's like, they don't even know whether they've got a home or a house to go back to. They don't have a clue. They don't know what's there. They don't know who's there. They don't know who's running it. They don't know if they're safe or not. And it's like, there's some really weird stuff going on. But since that first announcement, they have actually slowed things down in terms of their announcements. And they have said, we're just pausing it and we're just seeing where it's going, which is the best. That's the best idea.
I hope it goes in the right way for humanity. I'm not naive, but I just hope it goes the right way. And I hope they can make friends with Israel, and I hope that they can work together. There's no need for these people. I know their backgrounds of ISIS and all that business, but it's time to stop fighting.
There's no such thing as humanity, Hayden. Humans hate the other humans.
I must sound naive,
if you're not
but
part of our group,
I can assure you I'm not naive, but I must sound it sometimes. It's a dream. It's a dream. I want peace. I want peace. Just like the vicar, they gave me the £20 Christmas gift today. He wants peace as well, and I see that. But he still feels he has to march and say what he thinks about what's going on. And fine, anybody has a right to march as long as they behave themselves. It's just some people don't know how to behave themselves.
I watched a brilliant video on YouTube. I've been watching a few of his videos actually. Sagan. Is it Carl Sagan from America? He's the astronomer guy who's got into lots of bits. And back in 1993 or something like that, he started talking about the little blue dot.
Meaning what?
Meaning the Earth.
Yes.
He had a picture of the Earth from a satellite or a rocket that had been sent round Neptune. I think it was Neptune. And as it was coming back out, it took a picture of Earth from that far away. And it was the size of a pixel on a computer screen. And it's basically going, as far as we know, this is the only place in the universe that has life as we know it.
As we know it, yes.
Life as we know it. It's got humans on it. And humans on this little blue dot have got ego, and they're conceited, and they demand to take power, and they kill everyone. Everybody gets killed because of all of these things that go through humans' minds. And you're basically going, every single human that has ever lived, good or bad, lived on that little blue dot. And all we do is fight each other.
Do you think there's life elsewhere?
I have no idea. I haven't got a clue.
But not life as we necessarily know. You see, the thing
Oh, there'll
is,
be something elsewhere. I mean,
see,
where did we come from?
Well, I'll have to say this, that I'm a proud Jew, right? And because I want the success of Israel and I want it to go forward and be safe and everything, I suppose, like I'm proud to be British, I'm also proud, I suppose, to technically be a Zionist, because I want the security of Israel, and I want it to go forward, and I want all the people there, including the Arab Muslims and whoever, to be successful. So, I don't see anything wrong in Zionism. People's interpretation may be different, but I do feel very strongly, even though I'm Jewish, I'm not Orthodox. I'm not extremely Orthodox. And I see the fact that we are a brain in a skull. Okay?
Yeah.
We're a brain in a skull. And we're animated by what we eat and drink and the air and everything. So really what we know and what we talk to people about is something we've either been told or we've read that's been absorbed into the brain, and then it comes out the mouth, or we write it or whatever. So my point is that I personally don't think I respect everybody's religion, especially if they behave themselves, okay? Every colour, creed, kind, sexuality, whatever. I respect everybody, right? I don't respect anybody that behaves badly to others. I don't have respect for them, but because somebody of a particular religion behaves badly, I don't then say, oh, it's that religion, because I'm far too clever to say something stupid like that, right?
Yeah.
But what I do believe very strongly is that religion and creation are two very different things.
Completely. But
Logically.
But the Old Testament and the New Testament has intertwined them.
Because let's be
As
honest,
okay.
religion is very much political fancy dress, isn't it? Once again, I respect everybody's religion as long as they behave themselves. And if somebody doesn't, I don't then stop respecting that religion. I just then don't like that particular person, whoever they are, whatever religion they are.
Someone's an asshole, they're an asshole, aren't
It
they?
has nothing to do with the religion,
Well,
Yes,
I mean, it depends whether they're doing actions because of their religious statements
because people can, let's be honest, people can say, well, people's into religion, the problem with Bibles, religious books, any religious book, is they are so ambiguous it allows people to misbehave and to interpret things how they want to do, to pull one over on somebody else and to be bad. So I think that if religious books were less ambiguous, and they're extremely ambiguous, metaphoric, ambiguous, they don't particularly mean anything specific, and they're ideal for people that want to say, well, this is what it means, and I'm sick to the teeth of hearing, this is what it means.
Well, I mean,
Why
there is
doesn't it say
something
what
like,
it means?
this is what it says.
Or this is what it says, yeah.
I mean, that's a different thing from this is what it says means.
Yeah, this is what it says.
As you just said,
forgive me, yeah.
You got an analogy of something.
Yeah,
It's like the
this
fig
is what
tree.
it says.
The fig tree is Israel, and it's like it will grow again. It will have its new summer.
Well, that's very that's very metaphoric, isn't it?
Absolutely.
But a lot of the Bibles, they're all very metaphoric, and this is what it says. But what does it actually mean? What were the people that were around at the time writing it? What were they hoping it would mean, or have they deliberately made it ambiguous?
And there are some texts that aren't ambiguous, because we also have a lot of history and writings from those times of how the people of the times
wanted people to behave.
Knew
exactly
what was being said.
Listen, every religion will have some things that are written that deliberately cause people to do bad things. It's religion, and it's every religion.
Yeah.
Every religion.
Yeah. That's why anybody that's a fundamentalist is pretty dangerous. And anybody that's not a fundamentalist isn't really that religion. See what I mean?
Just please explain a little clearer, sorry.
Well,
you probably are explaining, but I'm tired and it's not quite sunk in, that one.
If you are
Put it in
religious, if
profess-
you are religious,
Yeah.
as in you follow your book,
Yes.
however you interpret it, that requires you to be fundamentalist. You have to follow all of it.
Yeah.
If you get rid of certain bits because it doesn't follow your personal
Yeah.
morals or ethics, or you've got a socialist point of view,
Sure.
and you've got a
Okay.
altruistic point of view, or whatever, you're not really that religion anymore. You've made up your own religion,
Yes,
which
yeah.
mixes stuff, and that's where the danger is. It's like, because we all get stuck in this religious stuff. You're either religious or you're not.
Don't you think it's dangerous that people feel that they have to specifically do things from books that were written a long time ago?
Oh, yeah, very, very strange. Very strange indeed. I mean, the way that I look at the Old Testament, you might call it the Torah, whichever it is. It's like, I look at it as if it's the equivalent of Aesop's fables for children in those days. It was the stories around the campfire. It was the mum or dad just giving a story to the child as they went to sleep. This is where we came from, type of thing. You're not going to tell them the truth.
Do you
It's
think
like-
the people that wrote all these things from any religion, do you think that they envisaged it actually lasting as long as it has done?
No idea.
This is the big
No
question,
idea at
isn't
all.
it?
I mean, all of this stuff moves towards power. It moves towards control over the populace, and of course, once you've got a bit of it, you're all wanting the power, and they want that to continue. And
And there
you
is a lot
had
of
that
people-
with the Sadducees and the Pharisees. You then had Jesus in the New Testament coming along and fighting them, and then dying, and then something new happened, that suddenly there's a new religion, rather than what he was saying, which was, Judaism is correct, I am a Jew, it's just we interpret it wrong. That's all that Jesus said. We interpret it wrong. We have to be nicer. And then the followers of Jesus then blamed the Jews for getting him killed, despite the fact he'd said he was going to get killed anyway, and this was his destiny. And they started up something new called Christianity.
But do you believe that Jesus was the son of what created existence?
No. There isn't anything that created existence, in my view. I'm not religious, I'm an atheist.
I think that creation is something. You see, people think that we should understand how everything started, if it ever did start.
How?
But we're just a brain in a skull.
Yeah.
Why should we have the capability of actually knowing? And then we've got, of course, Richard Dawkins. Is it Richard Dawkins, the god of the gap? Is it Richard Dawkins? I think where basically, I think it's him that says that. Professor Dawkins, basically making up stories because you haven't got the answer. It's the god of the gap, isn't it? Well, what
all the
else fills the
philosophers
gap?
say that. All the philosophers say that. It's just one of the philosophical
I don't
fallacies.
think we could comprehend, and I don't think our computer, meaning our brain, is actually able to understand anything other than our existence.
Yes, from our birth.
But I believe that there is other ways. You see, people say if something doesn't come from nothing, but what if nothing is actually something else, somewhere else?
We don't have the answer.
Yeah.
And that's the point. The answer to the question is, I don't know. But there's certainly no evidence that there was a mind involved in actually
A rational
starting
thinking mind
humans
that
off.
yeah.
Creating
And then, of
them.
course, you get
It's
into
like,
the quandary then of,
Yeah.
well, who created that?
Yeah.
It just appeared.
Yeah. Exactly. Right, I'm going to let you go.
Yes.
And
All the best. Merry Christmas.
I will see you soon
Yes, absolutely. But it's been a
when I get out.
another
Another good day.
It's
Another
been a
good
good
day.
day. Yeah, the weather's been
It's not
so
too cold, is it?
well behaved, hasn't it?
It's not too cold, it's not too windy, it's not too wet.
Did you actually go on the march?
No,
And
no.
what was it called now?
No, it's the Pro-Palestine March, but
Yeah.
today's they named it an interfaith one. Because they wanted lots of other people coming. I'll tell you what, there's another interesting one.
They're
Down
losing,
in
aren't
London.
In fact, they lost a long time ago. People have had enough of them.
Yeah. But that doesn't stop them having the right to believe. Stop the killing.
Yes, I agree.
And it doesn't stop them from having the right to believe that Palestine is the whole thing and Israel should never have had it back. And then you just get into bloody arguments.
I think the problem is, like in Australia, for instance, I think that, you know, their lack of discipline with the people over there is causing anti-Semitism. Look at what's been happening. There's no doubt about it.
There's always been anti-Semitism. There's always been anti-Muslimism.
Yeah.
There's always been anti-Christianism, and there's always been anti-atheismism. You know, it's like we all bloody hate each other. This is the bit about coming back to humanity.
We don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but thank goodness we've got intelligence, partly from Israel, from all over, plus what they do, what they do here, to protect the people, because we should never take it for granted that nothing horrible happens like has happened in the past. We should never take that for granted.
Well, as long as we're all united in hating Russians, according to our government and the EU government and the US and the global West, then everything will be all right. It's all a bit nutty. Right, I'm going to go. Nice to see you.
Very nutty.